according to our schedule, but we're working on that. And I have my son's B status shirt on because he's actually upstairs sick. So I want to just make sure that we're putting B status on Kai, right? B status, get better soon, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kai has to get better soon. And so we've got Maya and Mina here today.
I want to show you guys.
And so because I'm talking, she's gonna wait. But what we're gonna review today is some of the stuff that they went over last week. We're also gonna start doing a little bit of math for both girls. Amaya has been spelling her name all morning, so we're not really.
I said my name right there.
Amaya has been spelling her name all morning, so we are not going to worry about her getting onto that. And as I said before, for those of you that follow us on our YouTube page and who have poured it over with us, the girls love attention, and so my reason for this is to 100%. No, it's 100%. Sorry guys, my phone is asking me to do crazy things. It's to 100% really get them acclimated and versed in the subjects that we want to cover. As we get deeper into our school year and as we have really found everything that we need, what we are doing is we're going to be talking about complex math, which is something that we're going to go ahead and do. Once we do some complex math, we'll be moving into even more complex sciences. Amina really is into the sciences. So she's my STEAM kid. And so we're hopeful that this will work. Amaya, stop. We're hoping that this will work and keeping her up to date and getting things done. Where are you going? Come sit down and finish your waffle, please. What? You going to the bathroom? Okay. Can you go help us go to the bathroom real quick, please? Update your phone. So cool. I'm trying to update it. It's getting mad at me. What? Why? So now that they stepped away, yes, the girls really like a lot of attention, and for me that it's often troublesome because the girls can get very sidetracked, especially with the things that they're doing. Like, I don't have a problem with everybody with her showing you different things. It's just that I need them to understand that attention is not what we're here for. We're here for academics. And so while we have a little bit of a break, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this. So what I'm using is this format it's called Humble Math, and it's 100 time tests for math multiplication. So this is what it is. And so we'll be going through the math problems in here. I also got her some flashcards, which are multiplication flashcards. And as you guys get to watch us and get to know us, we do math games, we do flash math. She does it with the addition. She's really good at the addition. So we've gotten these flashcards, which are the multiplication. So I'm really excited to get her started on that. We'll also be working with some stuff with Amaya. Bring Amaya's PreK book. It's on my basket in my room. So what we do is we work through a lot of the BrainQuest knowledge books. And for me, it's really important to go through these only because they really test your brain all year. And so Amina started in the pre-K book, so I just repurchased the pre-K book for Amaya. These are the grades 3 and 4 here. I'll be purchasing 5 and 6 as we move through the school year. And this drafting and writing in here. So I do a lot of English stuff along with her English work through here. And I also do a lot of her, this is actually grade 4, so she'll be working with this one primarily this year. And then as we move through the year, as you'll see, I'll purchase 5 and 6 in a little bit. But it has, it starts with spelling and vocabulary, language arts, reading and writing, math skills and word problems, addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, fractions, decimals, geometry and measurement, probability and data, social studies and science. And they have the same thing for grade 3, but they focus on time and money in this one. And so it's an introduction in grade 3, and then grade 4 is more solidifying the points. And so we try to do almost every activity in these books, but even if we don't, we are able to talk about the concepts, and we're able to understand the concepts before we move on to the next school thing. And then, this enforces math. Amina, again, wants to do STEAM, STEM, and things like that. So I really am, I'm poisoning her to be enriched when she goes back into this school setting, if she does, or even if she doesn't, she decides that she wants to be homeschooled through high school up until the 9th grade, she'll be able to go in with a very strong math core and science core. And so that was really my point this year. Grade 3 wasn't what I expected. Did you get her book for me? Did you get her book for me? Okay. And so it wasn't what I expected for her. And while I was not pleasantly surprised, I knew that there was a way that I could go ahead and do this. So that's what we're doing. This is the pre-K book for pre-K students. It does ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, writing, letters and numbers, phonics, vocabulary, shapes and colors, my world, habitat, sorting and matching, sequencing, science, and mazes and games. And so this is really, really good for pre-K starting out in school. And as you can hear her, she's ready to learn, ready to understand, and she's screaming wait for her. So what I like to do is I like to get her started on whatever that we're going to work on. And then I try to shift focus on both girls. With Amina, she's very focused on these bracelets that she got. And so she's super, super down because I won't let her present about her bracelets. But this is not Silly Sinai. This is 100% the UnSchool Homeschool. So we're going to let you present on your work, not on your bracelet. And then with Amaya, are you going to finish your waffle? Yeah. Okay, let's finish your waffle. And so we can get started with Amina real quick. Go ahead and finish your waffle, and then we'll move forward. So we're going to use the BrainQuest book, and Amina's going to fix her face and act like she's excited to be here. Part of the problem with my kids is that they expect to have fun. They're expressive people, expressive students. And so for me, it's 100% just understanding that we need to be expressive and understanding. So today we're going to work on reading comprehension, which one thing that Amina has, I'll say, a phobia of is reading out loud, but she's going to get used to it because this is what we're going to do. And so we're going to read about the Pharaoh Queen. And so she's going to read this, and then we're going to answer the questions. Go ahead and start reading this out loud. And I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? That has nothing to do with what I just said. Go ahead and read this out loud, and then we'll go through the questions.
And this side. Not this side. And then
Maya, hush. Amina, go ahead and read out loud. Thank you. Oh. Louder. Oh. Louder.
long, long. That's it.
Yeah, that's good.
Long, long ago.
Come on, Mina.
A baby girl was born to Queen Alma, the wife of Pharaoh. She's okay. I don't know that name. The pharaoh was.
You're gonna sound off the word. Number one. Number two, you're not gonna do whatever's. Okay? We're gonna get through the reading together. Let's go. What was the word that you stumbled on? Okay. So.
I think I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
Amahos and Moses.
Good job. Thank you. Go ahead. Move forward.
Sorry, I have to find it.
Mm-hmm.
The pharaoh was the supreme ruler of ancient Egypt, which was a powerful and wealthy empire. Queen Amahos named her daughter Hatshepsut.
Hatshepsut.
Uh-huh.
Hatshepsut. Is that what it is? Yep. Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut. And we're going to talk about these names, but go ahead.
Hatshepsut, a name that Queen Amahos. Wait, no. A name that meant the foremost of noble ladies. Young
Hatshepsut
lived in a palace and had many servants to care for her. During the day, she played with her dolls in the nursery and sometimes visited her father's private zoo. As she grew older,
Hatshepsut
attended dinner parties with her parents, where the guests were entertained by dancers, musicians. I just hit my tongue.
It's okay. Move forward.
Dancers, musicians, and acrobats. She also took part in religious festivals and watched special processions.
Hatshepsut.
No, procession.
Processions.
From the palace balcony. When Hatshepsut's father died, her life changed dramatically. She was married to her half-brother, Moses. That was the same name as his, right? Yeah, Moses and Moses.
Yeah, but see.
Tutmosis II, who had become the new pharaoh of Egypt. And in time, Hatshepsut now become the new pharaoh Egypt. Wait, no. Hatshepsut, the queen of Egypt. There we go. Gave birth to a daughter whom she named Nefer.
Huh? What do you see her name? Spell it out.
Neferure. I don't like too. I don't like too.
Nefer.
Nefer. When Tutmosis II died, Queen Hatshepsut became Egypt's pharaoh. Because it was unusual for a woman to become king, she was usually shown in all wall paintings and carvings wearing a false beard in men's clothing. During Hatshepsut's reign
Good job.
of about 22 years. Wow, she was for a long time. She directed the building of many monuments and organized the ambitious expedition to land far down the east coast of Africa. When she died, her mummified body was laid to rest in the Valley of the Kings instead of in the tomb that had been originally prepared for her when she was only a queen.
So that was the end? Okay. So, okay, give me 1 second. So let's talk about the Pharaoh Queen and why this story is important. So first, what did you get from it? Even though you read it before, what did you get from it this time?
That she.
Who is she?
That Hatshepsut.
Okay.
Hatshepsut. Thutmose II died.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't find anybody else, so she was referred to as king and queen.
She was king and queen. So in ancient Egypt times, was there a time to be king and queen, do you think?
Yes.
Why? Because she just said it, or because she said it? Okay. So do you understand the roles of kings and queens?
I mean, you told me.
No. Do you understand the roles of kings and queens?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Slightly. Okay. And what do you understand about the roles of kings and queens?
That they enforce laws?
They enforce laws.
Wait, no. I think that would be the president.
No. So we're going to have to talk about this because the president is a position. Kings and queens have positions. And so in ancient times, in ancient Egypt, match the numbers, match the letters together.
X.
So draw a line from X to X. Yep, draw a line from X to X. So in ancient times, kings and queens, and you can look less bored. You can look a lot less bored. You can use it even if it has a hair on it. It's just, that's a personal thing. Draw a line from X to X. Nope, draw a line from X to X. When I say draw a line from X to X. Whatever matches it. So does the Y match the Y? Then you draw a line to the Y. Okay? All right. So, I'm going to put your L down. And sit up. So we can do silent work. I don't have to talk to you through this. So what you can do is you can answer these questions and then I'll go over them with you. Go ahead and answer those questions. Write them out. You don't have a pen or a pencil?
No.
Write out those answers, please. Good job. Okay, so what else matches? That to that? Okay. What letter is that? Nope. Z. Good job. And what letter is this?
It's the letter M.
Nope, that's W.
That's not the letter M.
Well, it looks like the letter M, but it's upside down, right? Yeah. So
I can do it.
you can do it.
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? I'm trying to find a better pencil for you. Trying to find a better pencil, baby. So you guys will hear the dog in the background, and that's our little dog. He just yaps away. There's nothing wrong with him. He'll get over it. Don't erase. Make new lines. Match the Y's and the Y's. This is X to X, the Z to Z's. Go ahead. And so what he'll do is he'll yap along and everything else. What we do here when we're having a hard time, being bored or uninterested, is we work silently and then we go over the work again. And if you feel as though that you need time to get into your lesson, you have the opportunity to get up and walk away. What Amina has a hard time with is she is, as you can see, she's an expressive child. And what I won't tolerate is, you're not in school. You're at home. You're learning, and if you want to act disinterested, I can send you to public school for that. I don't. What I don't want is the feeling to be like I'm forcing you to be here, because that's not what it is. Make a Y to the Y. Draw a line to the Y. With the 2-year-old, it's a little challenging, of course, because 2-year-old time and attention span is a little different. All right, do the Z to the Z. But it's just about learning to manage those emotions and manage. You did. Do it again. Manage those emotions and manage just expectations. As Amina said at the beginning, oh, I did this already. Well, if she did it, then she'd be able to say the words. If she did it, she'd be able to answer the questions very quickly. But if she also did it, she'd have a different look on her face. This is something that whenever I introduce something new to my children, I can see by the look on their face whether or not they're interested. Amina can read on the 8th grade level, but as you can see, she would rather just stumble through and try to just pass over words. And so that's what I'm not encouraging. What I'm encouraging is whole reading, whole understanding, and full reading comprehension. She reads chapter books in a day, so there's no reason for her to not be reading and sounding out certain words and letters. But she chooses to be what I call a little bit lackadaisical or lazy, and just want to pass over words like she never learned them. So when you say something like that to me, the mother and teacher in me says, okay, since you read it already, answer questions, do some silent work. And the bigger part of it is, as we started with this live feed, was that the girls love attention, and regardless of any of attention, positive or negative, attention is attention. And what I'm trying to get them to understand is that even though we do have platforms where we can show our talents and express everything that we have, like I showed you the bracelets, means nothing to me because she didn't make them. She got them. And so for me, I'd rather see her make some bracelets. Now there was a lady in Omaha who made some GIMP bracelets, and they were able to, GIMP keychains, and they were ecstatic, which I thought was great because she was an older woman. She didn't have to give it to them. I want you to trace those lines. All these dotted lines and those dotted lines, I want you to trace them. Trace these, please. Okay. Nope. Trace them. And so, we're very creative in this house, and yes, good job. Do this one. Good job. You have to start from the top to the bottom. Come on. No, it's not. These are just lines. We're not doing that right now. And so with the little one, she tries to guide and try to control. So it's just learning how to control their expectations and really just curb their expectations. Yeah, you're home and you could sleep till 9 o'clock. Now do these. Good job. Do these. But you also are going to learn what we're doing, and you're going to stay on track with the other students in your grade, or excel beyond them. And that's really what I want for both girls. Amaya is not yet 3, and she does a lot of tone switch. She has a lot of expressions. Now copy those dotted lines like that. Okay. B's right here. B's right here. And keeping her on task is a bit of a challenge, but she does pretty well. Okay, there's another one. There's 4 of them. She does pretty well with it. And, you know, like right now I'm doing a little hand over hand, but she really doesn't require me to do hand over hand. So this is early pre-writing things. And she's going over some lines in a book. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Stay online. Stay on the dotted line. Go ahead. All right, stay on the dotted line. Do those dotted lines. So I just, you know, just encourage them to go ahead and be where they really need to be. And so we're going to show you in a second what she's done. So let's see if you can see pre-writing. So these straight lines is what Amaya has done. Again, she's a 2-year-old. Her 3rd birthday is not until next month. I did these right here just to enforce those, but I used to use yellow as a highlight, and then she did these diagonals, and these were all freehand. So this is just an idea for any homeschooling parent that has toddlers. You do these over here. For those who have toddlers and are really concerned about where they can be academically, what I found here in Georgia, my oldest child was born here in Georgia, and I found that when they go to daycare, they tend to be dumbed down, and I didn't like that. And so what I did for my own personal thing, especially for Amina, was we read a lot. We did these pre-writing skills, but we did all of these pretty much as soon as she was ready to talk, which was at 10 months old. And I'm so grateful for the preschool she went to. She's no longer in business, otherwise Amaya would be there. But Auntie Jen was a godsend. She 100% got Amina reading by 3, writing by 3. Under her level of comprehension with her was so awesome. And so I do to this day thank her, because she's the reason why Amina is where she is. She's the reason that Amina's reading on an 8th grade level. She's the reason that she's doing all these things. And I wanted to go ahead, trace those lines. I really wanted to do that for and with. You have to trace the lines. Yes, there's circles, but you have to trace the lines. Stay on the line. Stay on the line, Amaya. And so she's getting a little bored with this topic. But my goal today was to do pre-writing with Amaya, some reading comprehension with Amina, and as you heard her read aloud, you heard her skip over those words. Now she's changed her attitude quite a bit. She's got a different look on her face. And so, are you done with those questions, honey? You're not? You got 2 more questions? Okay, so she's going back over and in her reading, and she's trying to answer those 2 other questions. And like I said, if you have challenges with that as far as keeping kids on task, you have the opportunity to get up and walk away and take a moment for yourself and then come back to the work. Or you can take it seriously and really get on to the next subject that you really like. With Amina, she likes doing the math flash games. So she would love to be doing that right now, but reading is something that she, in her head, feels that she's got everything down packed. So what I like to do is, just know some of the things that she has done, and you'll see that over here in the chat section, and we'll be able to share those experiences here in chat. And so I'm going to get ready to wrap it up, just because I've already shown you, what we worked on for today. I'll add a little bit more into the video after I record them a little bit. But let's Amina, give me the book real quick. Oh, you're writing an answer? Okay, so I'm going to read off the answers to the questions, the comprehensive reading questions that are in the BrainQuest book. And maybe you guys can follow along and really understand how this really works well for us.
I know what the last question says, but I don't know how to answer it. So I'm just
okay. So it asks questions. The question says, which 2 adjectives are used in the first paragraphs to describe Egypt at the time of Hatshepsut's birth? And so she answered this incorrectly. Yes, it says which two adjectives are used in the first paragraph to describe Egypt at the time of Hatshepsut's birth, not Hatshepsut. So you putting the word baby and girl here. No. The first paragraph says long, long ago, a baby girl was born to Queen Amos, the wife of Pharaoh Tutmosis I. The Pharaoh was a supreme ruler of ancient Egypt, which was a powerful and wealthy empire. Queen Amos named her daughter Hatshepsut, a name that meant the foremost of noble ladies. So the two adjectives were actually powerful and wealthy empire and ancient, because it's ancient Egypt. Okay, so this is why I really like these books, because it gets you to think. It did have information about the time of the birth, but because she didn't read the question all the way and she ran through the questions, she didn't get the right answer. So this is just one story that we're going to work on today. And these are also found some other places. So I really am into finding the stories, especially about ancient Egypt, and just teaching her about the ancient history of Egypt and the mummies and pharaohs. And then we're going to move into some science work this week. So take out your mouth, both of you. We'll move into some science work. Put them in the garage, please. And with the science work itself, we'll be working on the planets and how those align, and how they can really align your life, which is really fun. So again, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you all for taking the time just to check us out. We'll be doing, like I said, we've decided to move to this platform, and so if you can bear with us as we get used to it, but we'll be live streaming from here at least 3 times a week. Today's Tuesday run was just a trial run for us. But I'm really glad for those that were able to port over from Facebook over here to YouTube. We'll be doing, 30-minute videos, and then I'll be editing the live streams and then putting up whatever other videos in our UnSchool, so that you guys have an idea of the materials that we use. I hope that everyone has a great and blessed Tuesday. Thanks so much for coming out, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.